I would also just like to say that the parking deck, if it was built, it's not going to be very close. It's going to be behind the library and behind the library, behind the church, and so it would, which would cause less parking before we could get more. Okay,
pretty much what Mitch and Dorsey were saying is pretty much eliminating freshman parking. It would pretty much help out a lot with the overall parking situation. So that's one very viable thing that we could actually do. So
this is, I guess, taking the parking spots away from freshmen that don't work at home or something like that along those, or have special circumstances where they need to travel home would be a good idea. And that way it would make every weekend here stay at Western weekend instead of just one or two every semester.
Parking passes to $400, so I think one important role of SGA at this point would be to gauge students' opinion to see if this is something they really want or if it's not. And I mean, I think one of the huge issues is transportation, and how are we going to get across the street to the new Health and Science Center when that's built? And I think we need more effective CAT trans that you can actually rely on, and a better bus system and better sidewalks.
And also, the reason why freshmen are allowed to park on this campus is because of the location of our university and the lack of availability of grocery stores and etc.
During the 2010-2011 school year.
The biggest change that I would like to see is would probably be the fact that I've noticed that a lot of students could feel somewhat out of touch with the administration and staff and what happens. I've spoken with several students, and it seems that they really don't know what's going on, and just I think SGA's role in the next upcoming year would be take the initiative to make sure that it's a two-way street. And if SGA and the people just need to collaborate more, and I feel that this upcoming administration of me and Jared could definitely make that happen.
Basically, the biggest change is to make sure that we continue to be out there and be visible for the student body. Vanessa and I have worked to completely reorganize SGA and Senate. I mean, it's completely unrecognizable from where it was last year. And our main goal was just simply be out and visible, working with students, communicating with different organizations, and making sure that we are the voice and we are representing the students adequately. And also, with these changes, Vanessa and I both have worked on the state level, and we work with other universities, so the changes that need to be made, we have an understanding of those, and we know how the university systems work and are successful, and we have that knowledge.
I mean, I agree completely with Nicole. I want to get better communication, more communication, and we just know the steps that have to be taken. And SGA has really come a long way from what it used to be, and if we make it in, I just can't even imagine how great it would be in the coming years.
Okay, one thing that I would like in my administration, I would definitely make sure that SGA was more available to the students, because I mean, I know I've been to the SGA office and nobody's been in there. And I've done that a few times, nobody's around. I mean, I know Ben over there, he's done the same thing. Brandon, I know he's done it. Nobody's in the office. Nobody's around. People aren't actually available to the students. I mean, one thing I would really love to see is people actually, like the SGA actually being out there and visible to the students, like very, very vocal, visual, talking to the students, making sure things are what the students want. That's something that's not going on right now, and that's something I would love to see change.
Personally, I'd like to see things change for SGA getting out and being more vocal.
10 seconds.
I'd also like to see the SGA members themselves change. I want to see more people in SGA who actually care, who are not just doing this as something to put on the resume.
About the tailgating situation. I feel as though the administration kind of just pulled the blanket over our eyes there and just kind of went, even though it was something that wasn't, I guess, considered legal to begin with, I feel like they just kind of went behind our backs, just blocked it off, just like, no, you can't come in. Didn't really give us any heads up, anything like that. I feel like just somebody intervening in that situation from the student government standpoint would be able to make a big difference, and people wouldn't be so upset if they got things taken away if they actually knew it was coming.
I just want to say that there are office hours posted on the doors of the SGA office with their contact information. So I mean, not everyone can be there all the time because we are students, we do have classes, but I mean, the contact info and hours are posted on the door.
I mean, afterwards, if you would like to tell me what time you're there, I mean, we can get in contact with the people who are supposed to be there. Oftentimes, we're running around the UC. We have offices across the hall, so, you know, I apologize for the times that you've been there where no one's been there. That shouldn't have happened. In regards for us not being visible, we've hosted countless forums and events this year.
I'm going to turn your microphone off. All right, that's all the questions I have. I'm going to open it up to the audience. Audience, I'll ask that you please ask intelligent questions. Any of you that ask a ridiculous question, I will let you know it's ridiculous. I'm not asking.
Mine starts here.
So raise your hand if you have a question.
Well, first of all, I'll just start with, I've been on SGA for a while, and I've been involved with ASG, which is state level conferences, and I know that pretty much every other SGA in the state, they have more control over what happens with the student body, and they communicate better with their student body than the faculty senate does. And currently at Western Carolina, our faculty senate really controls everything, like with, you know, baseball tailgating and just everything. They you know, like you said, Nicole, they're planning on building something out there where we've been tailgating, and this is something that I don't think that the students would really be interested in, and our faculty doesn't ask the students, and we aren't available even with, you know, office hours and things like that. So I guess what I'm going to ask all of you to respond is, what is your plan to make, you know, SGA and the students more in control and not the faculty, because we pay their salaries, they don't pay.
Just broaden that up. I'm pretty sure that most of the people in SGA are going to have a class with maybe one professor that's in the faculty senate, and that's something very doable. I mean, just keep in constant communication. I mean, just have relations with them, like personal one-on-one. Like if you talk to somebody, I mean, you're going to know what can happen. I mean, if the lines of communication are opened up, overall, it's just going to make the quality improve. So that's one way I've already been trying to give more control to SGA rather than faculty senate.
SGA needs a better relationship with the faculty senate, and relationships take time. Although right now we might not have the best of one, that's not to say that this upcoming year could provide the opportunity to have a better relationship with the faculty senate. And it's going to take a committed faculty senator to relay exactly what the faculty wants and relay back to the faculty what we want.